everybody, welcome to an all-new episode of Us. That's all.
And who are we?
Us Live.
We are SCNS Live.
What?
Super
How are
North.
you?
We're good against evil. Wildcats.
Tigers.
What?
Wait, why do you know that, Jason?
Gotta get
What, the
your
Wildcats
head in the
theme
game.
song?
Come on.
Are you serious? Wildcats was one of my favorite comic books back in the day. And though that cartoon only lasted like one season, it had the most banging theme song.
And we're off.
I don't remember what
mom's
you're
banging.
supposed to say in the call and response for Wildcats.
I think it's Who Are We Wildcats. I think that's it.
Is that it?
No,
You're the High School Musical
It's-
expert.
High School Musical.
Oh, I only remember the
that's why I
songs.
asked. I thought that was the High School Musical thing.
no. Wildcats was a cartoon back in the 90s based off of an Image Comics property.
Oh! Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about then.
My experience with Wildcats mostly consists of watching a lot of Animal Planet as a child.
So fun fact, my elementary school, even though the image on our water tower was Woodstock from
Right off.
the Peanuts, the mascot was a wildcat.
Oh.
Hey, who wants to play some D&D?
Yeah.
Tabletop gaming is also a thing we're going to talk about today, and by talk about, I mean we're going to play it.
Yay.
We're going to do it.
Oh, this isn't the round table discussion. This is an actual game.
Man, I lost my
It's trash now.
I was about to say, you
crap
can do
at
the bit
end
right
of
up
the
until you
last
step
show
in
that
front of the
we
camera.
did for SCNS Live, and if I have to do that again, I will.
The what?
I totally just missed what happened.
We kept. Oh, one more thing. We literally were Columbo.
Oh, yeah, it was
at the
real
end of the
bad.
show last
And I
night.
just said, I'll do that again.
I think all of us had like, oh by the way,
Sharpener?
The eraser sucks.
Oh.
Give me patience. Okay,
Okay, that's better.
Jason.
Thank you.
Huh? Hi, what's up? Oh, hey, wonderful products from JTX Industries. So we have something brand new for you guys this week. Now, you know, we all get down and we're just lacking. You feel tired and, you know, you want excitement in your life. Well, I have not only minor healing, not major healing, but extreme healing from JTX Industries. Yes, they're like little potions that you can drink. See, and you just take it, go. Ha! And there you go, revitalized and ready to play a game of D&D. It may even be good for you, asterisk. It may even be natural, asterisk. Oh, there, hey,
Yeah.
audio sounds pretty good too. Look at that.
Yeah, okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Sometimes
Five
just
versus-
everything goes wrong.
If I burst into tears in the middle of this, you know why.
Please don't burst into tears.
It was like 3 times.
I'll break the computer for you.
No, we're fucking.
So
All right.
let's recap.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are in the air.
Tonight.
Sorry. We're in the air. The captain is gone. Who's in charge?
Albroth.
Nimbo thoroughly freaked out, but we were able to calm him collectively as a group. It was a group effort that we all calmed him. It was Ronnie and Albroth. We scryed on the captain, and she is alive. So that's good news.
Taking a swim.
Taking a swim. She's underwater. And so Nimbo took over. Assigned us different roles, so we're extremely proud of him, and we continued on. We were attacked by something. What appeared to be spooky, scary skeletons riding hippogriffs.
And a wind devil, right?
And a
Something like
Yeah.
wind devil. I
Very
have
devils.
one of them was named Naughty Boy. Dirty Boy.
that. Dirty.
None of them were named.
We were able to
Boy,
defeat
there
them.
was Legolas.
We were able to defeat them with a little bit of help from Azra, who summoned an aberration.
Oh, friggin' beholder.
But a little one.
My favorite comment on
That's what happened.
the post-show video was somebody put, y'all say missing captain, I say free airship.
Nice.
You know. I mean, it sort of belongs to somebody. Still.
I tried to
technically.
take leadership.
What,
We know.
What were your roles?
Oh,
Executive officer.
I don't remember.
First mate in training.
First mate in training.
I go up into the thing and I
First
look
mate in
good.
training.
First mate in training, fine. Executive officer.
I was like engineer something?
Chief engineer.
Chief engineer?
Chief Arcana engineer.
Chief arcane engineer? Chief arcanist?
She's
maybe?
more like
You meant
conning
like-
officer.
Lookout supervisor or something
Yeah.
like that?
Sure.
The
Can
guy
I-
up
I have
there.
official names
do
for
that role?
everything.
That we talked about.
And Azra and I looked about the ship to
Never
find like the hidden
That-
secret stuff, and we didn't
I thought
find
we
shit.
decided on not doing it because of the.
I was so mad. I wanted to find like the good stuff. And
Yeah.
no
yeah.
one questions us.
Don't worry about it.
Officers.
Officer.
An officer?
Officer.
At ease?
Ready?
At ease?
Attention.
But it was the
March out?
aftermath of the battle. We kind of like left right after it ended, and you guys are still kind of like breathing heavy, looking out for danger. Yeah, all that finger work really wore you out.
Yeah.
What's
I mean,
everybody's
She did puke.
I did. Yeah, I puked up a Beholderkin. Yeah, so...
Octavia was the
So you
only
probably
one to
got,
get the
like,
weird.
some
Can I get a
Right.
rinse?
Things.
Can I get some water?
Nobody else
rinse?
got that kind of
Anyone
wound.
have
I
some
believe
scoop?
so.
Yeah, not that kind of wound, but I did get hit.
Yeah, you got I go about checking everyone to make sure they're okay. And what are your hit points?
I'm fine. You healed me last time.
Stabby, bro.
I could use some healing.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
at about half.
Oh shit. Yeah. I burned through all my channel divinity. So
I'm over halfway, so I'm pretty good.
I was like, took my brain like way too long to process. what you said.
healing word 4th level on Angel Boy over there. Oh, that's 4d4. Sorry.
Yeah,
Alright.
you and Nimbo both relight on the ship's deck. I think he why? And Nimbo's like,
9.
what was that?
20 points of healing.
Thank you.
Azra, what do you got?
I'm good. I'm at 43 of 56.
Okay, sure.
I'm doing pretty
Are
good.
you referring to the thing that came out of the
I think we already did the whole, like... And then he freaked out when he saw it, right? Nimbo?
yeah.
Yes.
At the end of the last session?
Freaked out when he saw.
The Beholderkin, and I dismissed it.
Yeah, he's kind of eyeballing you a little bit.
Nimbo didn't get hurt?
I don't think so.
Okay. So
He did, but I think you split healing to him.
I did
earlier.
split between, yeah.
But yeah, he's like, yeah, I guess, like, where the, and he puts his fingers in his mouth, he lets out a piercing whistle that I'm not going to do because I'm not trying to ruin eardrums.
And Jason's not going to do.
I can whistle loud too.
I
I'm
know,
not
it's
gonna.
awesome.
Not into these microphones.
And after a minute, like, everybody comes out on deck, and you guys observe, like, a kind of a key change in him. He is pissed. And he's like, he starts kind of, like, pacing.
Captain, you've never even seen those creatures before?
No! And they kind of instinctively line up on either side, all, like, 10 of them. Some of them clearly were sleeping. And he's like, does anybody want to tell me why the only people up here trying to make sure our ship doesn't go down, my ship, are the newbies? You know, my mother would not deal with this bullshit, and she's not here, and I'm not going to deal with it either. If there's something to fight, you're up here fighting. I don't give a fuck if you fall off the side and die if you're not up here fighting. Now, everyone, say thank you to the kind new officers who I see I was extremely correct in appointing, regardless of their lack of experience, and the fact that they're kind of weird sometimes and can't really talk to a lot of people that well. Regardless
Don't know
of
what he's
that,
talking about.
I made the right decision. We're not going to do this ever again. So you thank them and you think about what happened here. Dismissed! next.
Azra turns expectantly.
People start shuffling up to you, being like, and it's just really awkward and silent on the deck, and Nimbo is now just fuming and goes back and takes the wheel.
Ronnie will very rigidly shake everyone as they go by.
Kind of lean over.
Would seem someone's getting quite used to the helm, to the title of captain here.
Good. Almost
Yes.
feels like I got in trouble too. Like, you know when your siblings get in trouble?
Oh yes,
You're-
when you were in the vicinity of one getting in trouble, I'm afraid you might catch some backlash from it as well.
Yeah.
I remember when you did something too. Yeah, yes.
Did you drop detect thoughts?
Yes. So, at the end of last session, too, Azra was casting Detect Thoughts to see if Octavia was actually okay after she said she was okay. Because Azra was like, that's bullshit. No, she's not. And...
There's nothing in her head right now about her and if she's okay. You do see, I think, like an old professor in a room filled with people you don't recognize, and on the chalkboard behind him is the word aberration. And he's basically just talking about how they're really evil, and he's got a little book with a beholder in it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is that beholder still out, by the way?
No, it's
No,
just
we
like-
dismissed it at the end of
Okay.
last session.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, when Nimbo came back to the deck and he was like, oh, what the fuck? I was like, oh, go away.
Yeah. Oh, don't mind it.
Yeah.
Well, if no one's worse for wear, I'm gonna go about the ship, ascertaining the damage. If anyone would like to accompany me.
Yes, I should
that.
probably check on
I'll
the...
definitely do that.
Yeah, of course, as the chief engineer.
chief-
Yes.
Officer.
yeah, drop Detect Thoughts.
I'll go check some of the burn spots just to make sure that the fire's completely out. And
They're like singed. They get treated with some sort of oil chips, I assume, like something like shellacked or something, so they're not especially.
yes, there's a term for it.
prone.
I'm not going to get into all that.
Yeah.
It's
So,
the seasoning on a cast iron.
It's got kind of close though. They
Makes
took
it-
a hot gun,
makes
heat
it
gun to it. Yeah, it is prepared to take a little bit of fire, but there's some scorched places, but it does not appear to be structurally like unsafe or at risk.
Okay. After that, I kind of go back over to Nimbo and just say, Captain, ascertaining the damage, nothing structural affected. We appear to be okay. How are you doing?
He like actually does drop his voice somewhat, and he goes, "Was that too mean? Was I too mean?"
No, I'd say that was the appropriate amount of mean, especially for someone in your position right now.
And he puts his shoulders back and he goes, "Then I'm good. Thank you, first
Right.
officer.
Yes, Captain.
Maybe go get something to eat, or
Well, I could always eat, so. You don't have to tell Alabron twice.
you kind of glance at the sun. It's like 2:30. Cook is not going to be happy to see you right now. It is not a meal
Direct
time.
orders from the captain.
But he was up on deck for the thrashing, so like you have a feeling he'll probably feed you.
So I'll go do that. Anybody else coming to get a nosh or anything?
Azra is looking to see if there's a way that she can check. Obviously, I think the engine room was untouched, like it's sort of internal, and there's no damage inside the room, I assume.
There's no damage inside
Ronnie
the
was trailing
room.
along with you. So
You
he's
do
gonna go
probably
with you.
take a second to inspect like the runes that are visible on the outside from like the poles where the fans go.
If we're still in the air, we're probably good.
Make an
Yeah.
investigation check for me.
Still near enough.
Nope.
Weird. So
Shan't be investigating anything.
Yeah.
yeah, you're like those are definitely runes.
And I've seen them before, which makes this really, really disappointing, embarrassing.
Didn't you see the attack incoming, though?
Not very long before they got here.
Well, I mean, they were flying it.
Yeah.
So,
Or no, Ronnie saw. I
Yeah.
think you saw them coming.
Oh, okay. I
You
assume you're on the
spotted a
lookout.
glint but didn't actually get a look at it,
Yeah.
and then I actually saw it. I was like, oh fuck.
Everybody make a perception check for me.
Boom.
Well, shit.
I might actually be able to see something for once.
What?
Dirty 20.
No, sir.
17.
16.
Would have been a dirty 20. I re-rolled.
22.
24.
Dang.
Check. So all of you notice like you're getting used to the sounds in the air are just different, and it's taken a while to kind of adjust to sounds of the like engine and the furnace fires and all that stuff. But you all eventually become aware of another sound, kind of sounds like it's coming from a ways away, and those of you who got a 20 or over, who I think was three, right? Recall that they had said something about a volcano in the area, and you recognize that that might be the sound that a volcano makes when it is erupting.
What's
Well-
the color, the hue of the clouds right now? We got some ashiness.
There's some ashiness in the clouds,
Lovely.
and you notice that the wind is shifting and becoming warmer a little
Any
bit.
fireballs in the chat?
You don't see fireballs in the chat.
Did our course have us going near the volcano?
Not sure.
Are we?
You're to be
Just
looking-
saying,
Looking
we're-
at Nimbo.
Yeah.
We are in a wooden ship
it's
and
a volcano,
volcanoes.
So you guys kind of split off to do
Yeah, I wanted to get
stuff.
food.
Where are you?
I just stayed on deck.
I stayed on the deck. I was about to go back up to the crow's nest.
I was following Alabroth around, so
Yeah, I gotta
he
get
went
food.
to the mess. I did too.
I was considering a short rest, but shit.
Kind of Nimbo.
Okay. You go to Nimbo. Nimbo is looking concerned at the wheel.
Are we meant to be going over the volcano?
Yeah, I mean, like, we go past it all the time. It just kind of gestures generally at the air. This is new. This doesn't have this.
Can the debris from the volcano that's erupting, can it hit us?
Well, like I said, this is new. We're gonna
Should we
We're gonna-
turn?
yeah, we're gonna kind of go this way.
Can't be a huge detour, I imagine.
Sure. No, maybe not. No, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm the captain and it's fine. I'm gonna go this way.
That's right.
Would Ronnie be able to tell the difference in the air from below deck?
I
Just
think,
like the dusting or the ashiness?
I think what happens with you is you guys go down towards the mess and you're like, that's weird. Is he smoking something? Like, that's not a ship thing. That happens a lot, I don't think. And then you get there and he's chopping vegetables and you're like, and then yeah, you start to realize the air does seem different.
Okay, I'm gonna grab a granola bar or something and go back up
Same. Just
to see like, hey, why does it smell like a log fire?
it wasn't me.
What skill check would Nimbo be using for, piloting the ship, for steering?
For steering, like, he's proficient enough that, like, he doesn't really need a skill check for steering the ship per se.
Yeah, but if we had to, like, dodge fireballs.
Intelligence, probably, for, like, navigation purposes, is probably going to make a blanket
I don't-
intelligence.
Yeah, I'm looking for something that's, like, the actual skill he would be using. Or do we just want to say it's a piloting skill that's not listed on normal character sheets?
Oh, wisdom.
I think he does. No, I still think it's an intelligence check that he does.
So it's not a skill check.
He
It's-
imported the Pathfinder profession sailing
Oh,
skill from.
Water and airbound.
Let's just say
vehicle
animal handling.
skill.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a great beast. The ship is.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not.
I'm trying to cast a spell that's going to give him real good proficiency because we might need it if we're navigating around a volcano that's erupting. But I need to know what skill it is. Survival. Okay. I would like to go up to Nimbo, and Azra is he's like steering the ship right now. Azra's going to put her hand on his back and say, "Nimbo, you got this," and she's going to cast what was it called? It's a 5th level spell. She's casting Skill Empowerment.
What does that do?
He doubles his proficiency bonus
Damn.
to a skill for like an hour. Yeah, concentration up to an hour. Yeah. Although it does not stack with other things that double the proficiency bonus, like the rogue's expertise ability. So if he has expertise or something else that's already doubling it, then I'll rescind the spell.
He does not have expertise. Survival is weirdly wisdom, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's proficient in it because of his background, but the doubling definitely makes a difference. He normally would get, I think, a plus 5.
Wow.
But if you
Just the proficiency part, not
so
the.
it's a plus 8, right? That seems right.
Right now, our proficiency bonus is 4. So yeah.
Yeah. I imagine he's not higher than us.
He's not higher than you. He's level 6. So I think it's 3.
Yeah, I would think so. I think it's 6.
Rosa was doing that.
So he's going to roll. Hang on, let me find his dice. It's like water. A very important check to see how well he does this. Not awful, but not great. You made him hit a 15, which is very good in regards to it. So he starts steering like away, and he's like, I don't know if we're gonna make it. This is gonna be an extra at least few hours, I think, maybe up to like half a day. We should be fine. We should be fine.
Would it be fair to say that Alabroth and Ronnie are back on deck?
Yeah.
With
Okay.
food in tow.
Yeah, you both got some hardtack, and neither of you crazy happy about that. Probably Alabroth cares less, but it's not great.
Is food. I am apologizing for my animals today. He's being a pain in the.
He just
Go
wants
find
in your
somewhere to
bed.
be. Go find somewhere to be. I'll come join y'all. Like, what's going on?
Looks like we are,
Ashy out here?
Yes, a volcano that we normally pass over.
Oh,
Apparently.
just a volcano. Oh, okay.
It's active though,
Oh, well.
which it normally is
sawed
not.
off.
But Nimbo is courageously guiding us around the volcano.
He's
Skillfully.
like looking into the distance, like pretending like he's not hearing all of this.
I'm from this area. Would I know how this volcano usually
Oh, yeah.
behaves when it's erupting?
This is it has not erupted that you're aware of in your
Okay.
lifetime.
Is this a Vesuvius eruption?
Well,
rather
crap.
than like a Hawaii
What
type
does
of
that
thing?
mean? I don't know what that means.
That's Pompeii.
More violent
Are
and
we
less
dealing
island
with Pompeii
building.
or Dante's Peak?
You're dealing with what was it?
Or Tommy Lee
Mount
Jones
St.
volcano.
Helena?
Mount St. Helen, erupted
I think
in
it's
Washington in the 1980s.
Yeah, and hadn't for like
Yeah.
100 years or something.
Mm-hmm. None of this is good.
You're not sure you would have heard if it wasn't a big eruption because you are from pretty far.
Yeah, I'm not like
Pretty far west. Of
close,
this.
but I'm the general area. I
Yeah,
probably
you
would
think
know
if
that
there
there's a
was-
volcano.
You think if it was like dribbling, you wouldn't have heard anything. But if it had full scale erupted, like you would guess it's doing now, then you feel like you would have heard about it.
Okay, can I, like, roll a survival check to, like, assist with, like, plotting a course away from this that's gonna be better?
I mean, it's a volcano. Don't go over there.
I mean, we still
Yes,
have
you
to
can.
get in a general direction. Okay.
Octavia, roll a perception check.
Oh boy.
Actually, roll an insight check.
Come on, look out.
Still quite good. That is a dirty 20.
The dirty 20.
It's a 21 for survival.
Okay. These kind of overlap. Both of you start thinking about those hippogriffs. And you're like, is that normal? Those things normal? Did they come from somewhere? Is it weird that a volcano's erupting and these lava-looking hippogriffs attacked us?
What direction did they take off in? Was it towards the volcano or away from the volcano?
They died.
Did they come from, I guess, then?
Yeah,
Oh.
what direction did they come from
One of
originally?
them fled and never came back,
No,
right?
2 of them fled. No,
Yeah.
yeah, 2 of them fled.
Yeah, one of them was already fleeing, going in the other direction. The other guy was like,
Because of the
fuck
tournament.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them fled and didn't come back. In the heat of, well, you guys it didn't seem particularly, they went straight away from Alabras. So you don't think it's necessarily significant
Yeah.
because any other way that he went, except like backwards from the ship, he would have had to first get closer.
Mm.
So,
Alright. Did Christian remember correctly that there were supposed to be like aboleths plural in an island or in a volcano or something like that?
In the ocean.
in the ocean, it is why you guys took off earlier.
Mm.
Is because, well, it's why you guys were supposed to take off earlier, was because the captain, who apparently has some ability to sense aberrations, all of a sudden couldn't. But the aboleths hang out in the bitch queen's light, taking advantage of the lure of creatures to, like, psychically melt them down and take control.
And the bitch queen's light was just an actual lighthouse, or
Nobody knows.
No.
oh, it hasn't been described yet.
No, it's been
Okay.
described. It was kind of described in the way of like phosphorescence in the water might look, like creatures that can do that, but it's not
Okay.
that. It's some kind of an enchantment.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't, the captain doesn't know if the beacon was created by a creature, or is just being taken advantage of by creatures. But yeah, was described as something that can be seen for a few miles, I think, that kind of glows underneath the water.
Gotcha.
It's a good thing we're up in the air.
You're up in the air. You are a few hundred feet in the air, it seems. But,
Ronnie will also uses thaumaturgy to try and keep the air cleared of ash as much
Ooh.
as possible.
That's good, because it can kill us. I'll yell up to Octavia. Octavia, can you come down a second?
Yeah, just
Yeah, do your whole
Swan dive.
swan dive just directly onto deck.
Crap. Hold on. That's I was gonna give
Oh, we
you.
lost Octavia.
I was gonna give you guidance, but it's only a
Imitate
minute.
their classes.
So
Yeah. I do the leap of faith.
But there's
And-
no.
I do the leap of faith when you do it in Black Flag because it's so badly coded that sometimes you will do the leap of faith and there's nothing there and you just. But. So yeah, Octavia gets up, her hand is
wait a
broken,
minute,
she's like, what's up?
I was gonna
I
give
see
you guidance, but
smashing
I
on the deck like Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like-
But I'm a monk, so I do the other thing Wile E. Coyote does and just get up.
I may have made a mistake because I was gonna give her guidance, but it only lasts like a minute. So
Yeah.
She's in obvious pain, so way to go.
A
tell her to
bone
come
is just
down here.
poking out of her arm. She's like, that's weird.
yeah. I'm still okay. No adverse effects from the battle that we had.
No.
Like I'm kind of like I'm eyeing where the wound was because I'm pretty sure your clothes got ripped too.
Yeah.
It's right on her boob.
I mean, you said it was right
Just
here.
making this so awkward.
It's along her collarbone, but it was very obviously bleeding when it was like a bleeding wound.
Yeah, but it was like different.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was like
It,
the,
like,
the
stayed
fires of
open.
hell burned.
And was burning on her clothes are slightly, burned.
Just for clarity, did you actually just leap off the mast
I-
like you're doing a?
I can negate 45 points of fall damage, so yes and no.
You're doing a.
Did
Like
you
a
take some hit
belly
points from
flop?
that fall?
No.
Okay, good.
Nice.
Okay, good to know. Yeah,
Grab
I
the
was
rope on the way
I was
down.
gonna give her guidance, now I gotta like fake it. Like I was
So you
just
tell
checking on her
Octavia,
well-being.
Never mind. Yes.
No, I don't know why he called
Okay.
her.
No, I was gonna give her guidance, but it only lasts a minute, so it's
Yeah.
kind of worthless. So
Yeah.
Okay.
because she's trying to keep a lookout for anything that's gonna come this way again.
You should like tie something around your face while you're
Do you?
up there so that you're not.
I should have given you
Don't
skill
really
empowerment for
smell
perception.
sash.
That would have been fucking rad.
Or I
It
give her
would make it a
a,
plus 12.
I give her one of the pirate shirts I like find or something like. Yeah, this will help you.
I mean, I have a sash that's blood orange that I wear around my waist.
Okay. I was looking for an excuse. I couldn't cast anything that was going to help her out.
So yeah, you give her a pirate shirt and she looks at you like.
with a bandana, like here you go. Look the pot. Anyway, I gotta go check on things. You're not feeling evil or anything.
Run back.
Ronnie does look down at his own clothes and notices that he's absolutely failing to look the part.
Oh, Alabroth got on full like when he was
yeah.
a deckhand, like the capri
you-
pants and everything.
You described your outfit
Yes.
changed. Ronnie's just wearing his normal clothes.
Brana refuses to change his normal clothes.
Ronnie's normal clothes did actually include like a big scarf that he can tie up around his head to keep things out of his face. So
You pause your thaumaturgy here and there to just observe like what's happening, and you do notice that it's getting like thicker, and you're headed in theory away from it, but it is becoming like harder to see. And yeah, and Nimbo's at the wheel trying very hard not to look concerned.
do I get the impression that this is from Fallout? Like ash coming back down, that it's getting harder to see? Because if we're headed away and we're using the like Nimbo's like big damn piloting skills and my assistance of helping him plot a course with a halfway decent survival roll, we shouldn't be getting more towards problems unless the problems were above us and are now coming down.
You get the impression that yes, there that does account for some of it, but you also suspect that the only reason the problems would appear to get bigger besides that is that the problems are getting bigger
Okay.
at such a rate that you're not outflying them by flying in a different direction.
Okay. Then
I'm going to use my spyglass.
I will check in with Nimbo and let him know what I think is going on, which is that this problem is getting bigger faster than we're outflying it. Some of the increase in this does seem to be like ash coming back down, but there's no way that it's not also more going up because it's not abating at all. It's just getting thicker.
What are your favorite terrain?
My favorite terrains are
Sky above volcano. How
no,
convenient.
it is coastline and mountains.
That's a pretty good blend for this.
It's the
Mountains,
particular areas
volcanoes
I
are
would be
kind
most
of like
familiar.
mountains, just
Yeah.
angrier.
Well, and where do you find them?
And a coastline.
Tends to be on the coastline.
How dare you.
Yeah, and what is favorite terrain gives you advantage on
Favored terrain.
Like-
double proficiency on?
You can't. There's no difficult terrain.
You have a favorite terrain type. Your proficiency bonus is doubled for proficient skills when you make an enter whiz check related to it. Oh, so probably should have increased the amount of that check from 21 to like 25. While traveling for an hour or more in your chosen terrain, difficult terrain does not slow your group's travel. Your group can't become lost except by magical means. You remain alert to danger even when you're engaged in another activity. You can move stealthily at a normal pace while alone. You find twice as much food when foraging, and while tracking creatures, you learn the exact number, sizes, and how long ago they passed through the area.
You also have advantage on every attack roll.
Yeah.
That
Uh,
sell that.
So with that, which would turn
Thought
into
I'd take
like
a
a
shot.
25 or something,
Mhm.
I think, you feel like you're like, we might need to land.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell him then, like, we need to get down. Like, it's not necessarily going to be that much better down there, but we're more in the line of fire, in this case, literal fire.
Yeah.
Being up here while the volcano is erupting. If we get down into the water, we'll at least be able to see what's going on.
Okay. He's gonna roll a second, very important, and he still has your thing, a survival check for if he knows something like nearby that would appear to be safer. Ooh, that one is a 15, which turns into a 23 with your help.
Nice.
He's like, okay, so there's a cove, kind of at the base. Would have to turn back a little bit into this, but it's like a cave. Probably there, do you think?
That sounds better than being out here.
Yeah, out here sucks. Okay.
Talking about a cave on the island of the volcano? Or like in the side of the volcano?
In the cove, near the volcano, but sheltered from it.
Yeah, it's near-ish the volcano. We have to determine a little bit, because what you guys know, and you know from looking at your map, it's like this kind of peninsula that curves west as it goes north. And so, in theory,
Sorry.
that's not funny. It's just west.
This is Lou Wilson.
Yeah, if it was out, what the
So, in theory, if the volcano is like pretty much due east of you, then if you're flying forward and kind of down, you wouldn't be a whole lot closer to it in that cove. It's mostly where it turns west.
Once I notice we're descending, I go back up to the quarterdeck just to check out what's going on.
Like once Nimbo and I have figured out like a plan of action and plotting stuff for what we're gonna do, I'll ask him if he wants me to like relay instructions, because I don't really know what to do other than to make sure that everyone has their mouth and nose covered.
He goes, yeah, you and I are gonna have to do a thing when we land. You can hold your breath. Yeah, you and I are gonna have to detach the poles so that we can push the stuff back in.
Okay, that's fine.
My mom usually does that, but I can hold my breath, and I think you
I
can
can
too.
too.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that, and it's gonna be fine.
We're gonna be fine.
Yeah,
We're good.
I mean, I said that.
Yeah,
And
I'm confirming.
we all
Agreed.
believe it. Great.
So we're going down. Cool.
But in a good way.
Timber?
Descent. Yes.
In an intentional way, we're going down.
Yeah, very on purpose.
The second time we've referenced something with Pitbull in it, I want us to, like, acknowledge that.
I think you'll find, but
Sorry, I love that
I
song.
think you'll find that Ronnie is Mr. Worldwide.
Why does Pitbull start all
I
of his
think
songs
it-
off?
no.
It's Mr. Worldwide. Let you know to change the station.
And I'm grateful to him for that.
Nimbo comes
I
up
really
to
like
you, and he's like,
You are
"How does all
on my
this?"
butt.
To Azra.
To Azra, oh, okay.
And how does all this look? Everything looks, whatever.
Engine is undamaged. Without the ability to go below the ship, I can't see the actual propulsion. But once we actually land and I can get in water, I can sort of swim down and check it out.
Like, not super close.
But also,
not
we're still in the
super
air.
far either.
And does it feel any different?
It doesn't feel any different. We're gonna do a little bit of a weird time thing. He actually has to coordinate with you to start going down in the first place because
Oh.
the wheel doesn't do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've got a joystick.
Ronnie will go relay what we're doing to all of the crew and tell everyone, mouth and nose covered, there's too much ash in the air.
Make an insight check.
Side check.
See an anchor
Ronnie
detail?
is not the most insightful person in the world, but I do have.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Azra, in support of Ronnie, is going to cover her face,
Or was that good?
It's not
her
bad.
breathing holes.
It's really weird.
Just one to insight. So, 15.
With that 15, you have the sense that the crew is more flustered than they normally would be. This is a crew that is used to conditions being a little bit weird and stuff, but they are used to that under the guidance of the same captain they've had forever.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I'll sit with a 15, right, you said?
Yeah, insight check.
You do also recognize that as harsh as his words were, Nimbo probably earned some credibility by yelling at them without
Hey.
an ounce of what appeared to be like self-consciousness or uncertainty. So they're kind of like, okay, and people are treating you specifically with a little bit more respect than they were before, which Nimbo probably also assisted with. But you're not super comfortable with you're not super certain how long all of that will hold under such weird circumstances.
Yeah. Ronnie's not super concerned with being respected.
Does anybody else do anything specifically?
I mean, it's technically see an anchor detail. Everybody's on deck right now.
Bandana face.
And I'm up in the crow's nest, just keeping a lookout.
And Azra's steering the joystick downward.
There's pedals.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Is it better because I have the thing over my mouth and nose?
It's better than it would be, yeah.
Ruh-roh.
It's not awful. It's 12.
After
You have proficiency in con saves, I guess.
Nope.
Wow.
Dex and strength. Strength.
like nothing like happens to you, but after probably like the first like hour of it, you're like, this isn't doing anything. I can't see. This is not helpful. Why are we going down? And you just kind of like, and Howler is down at the bottom, and he looks up at the top, and he's like, yeah, I'm not going up there. Seems stupid. Right now, maybe if we're getting down, we're going down, I guess. The light blue one said we're gonna land for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
The light blue sir one.
Ronnie?
Yes.
Is there another light blue person
No.
here? Okay.
What color is Nimbo again?
He's dark blue.
Dark blue? Oh.
Dark blue with like gold, like kind of etchings.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, so it starts to be evening. Kind of a coastal breeze comes through and is somewhat relieving. In about 2 hours of very slow descent, you Nimbo tells you guys that you're gonna land soon, and you probably go back up at that point.
Yeah.
And
Ronnie will recommend that you wet the thing over your face.
Sure.
And that does help. And so you guys,
You guys.
hey you guys, he's gonna roll one more time to see if he can land this thing in the water.
Oh no, he landed in the air.
He rolled in that one.
Hey, who has water breathing?
But what about that bonus, though?
This was dexterity.
He had other people at
If
home with
you
him.
guys can pitch me
Oh, I could tell you how badly this could go.
That's not the
something-
pitch that's... No. No.
How do you want to do this to yourselves?
He looks very concerned in the last few minutes, and it doesn't. The ship starts kind of pitching as he's trying to kind of aim to get land on the water as close to this cove as possible, and you see the cove coming up really fast.
Ronnie
do
was right at the helm with him, helping navigate. He would definitely notice if Nimbo was getting a little antsy. That's his special talent as the one who is emotional support for everyone.
So what does he do?
Whenever it looks like Nimbo is about to totally fumble the bag, whatever it is that he is needing to interact with in a dexterous way, like once it slips, Ronnie will catch it.
Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Anybody else doing anything?
I was down checking the crew because it's a sea and anchor detail. Do I notice that we're going in fast or whatever?
If
Or
you're
we're not angled right?
roll
For
perception.
It's a
check.
17
Okay, then.
on the dex save.
I was on deck just helping out wherever.
perception. Natural 1.
Heading
Okay,
head
you
back up
you
to the,
you
to the
have
helm just in case Ronnie needs
get
extra
in the
support.
crowd.
Extra help with support. There we go.
I don't expect it.
Azra's gonna check with Nimbo if she should pull up on, like, slow the descent. Give him some more time to situate.
Yeah, if I need to make a strength check in addition to that dex save to keep a hold of whatever we're holding on to or catching.
You can make that. You make a intelligence saving throw.
Intelligence saving throw. You got it, boss.
It's a weird throw, but I think saving me.
25 strength check
I'm
to keep a
hoping
hold of what I caught.
You
Hell, I'm
caught
hoping.
the wheel.
Okay.
That
I
is
didn't assume it was the wheel. It could have been like some
Yeah.
kind of other doohickey.
27.
Hoping I'll fall over the side.
With that saving throw, you see in between you catching the wheel, Alabroth trying his best, but not really managing to
Didn't do
do
damn
anything.
thing.
And make a perception check for me.
Feel like a real officer on a Navy ship.
14.
Ooh.
With a 14, and with you, you just put your hand on his back, I think, and then you kind of help catch a spoke, and then you realize that Ronnie, after the dexterity saving throw, did I have you roll something?
Mm-mm.
Roll a dexterity saving throw.
You have a good dex, that better be good.
Yeah.
I mean, on the die, it's not bad. So, dirty 20.
Okay, so your 17 doesn't quite do it, but your strength does. You grab it, the wheel, and then you recognize pretty fast that Ronnie has the strength to keep a hold of it, but you did contribute, or it would have just kept flying. And you recognize you need to do the opposite of what your instinct is, because what's happening is you're looking like you might crash head on. So you jam the joystick the other way to put you in the water immediately to slow your roll significantly.
Hmm.
And now you make me a dex saving throw. You should be okay.
Yeah.
Oh, like a plane that has to come to a landing. They land in the water rather than on the ground without their wheels. Okay.
Fantastic. 23.
So
I've seen
you
that.
don't fall out of the
Yeah.
crow's nest into the water or splat across the cliff, as funny as that would be. You guys keep a hold of the wheel as Azra puts you in the water to slow you down. And in between all of you, the ship doesn't come apart.
Break its keel.
And everybody's like, you all sit there for a second like, and then the crew like applauds like a rough plane landing in the 80s. It's like, we did it!
We did it!
And you guys look around and you are in a cave, and we're going to take a break.
All right.
I assumed that we would not be flying directly into the cave.
I need a tea and a scone.
Are you almost? I'm getting my phone.
Oh,
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
she.
Welcome back from the break, and we're ready to play D&D.
Ohio.
So far,
thought we were
second
just saying
half
it in all
is going
languages.
just as well as the first half.
Well, if we get to this session in the next 10 minutes, then it'll be better.
And if people can see and hear us. Hooray!
Let us know if you can't see or hear us.
Yeah,
Please.
sound off in the chat.
Any fireballs in the chat?
Those new cables are nice.
Huh? All right, so what happens, Kat?
We make it into the cave.
Bring us into the
Live
story.
Against the cliff face.
So, the sun is setting. You can't, it kind of, because of the angle that you're in, you can kind of see it like slanting across the entrance to this little cave that you're in the water in. And you kind of take a minute and you start to hear the like quiet, weird, echoey, drippy noises that caves make. And looking around like, holy shit, we just got away with something. And yeah, Nimbo, after he very kind of noticeably had a moment where he like freaked out when you guys grabbed the wheel, and he takes a second and kind of straightens his shoulders and goes, "Thank you, first mates, people, everyone, all of you."
I'll clap him on the shoulder. Like, steady as she goes, Captain.
Gonna give him that like gentle background.
He's like, I'm good now.
He's so not gentle about giving.
Azra
back
comes
to
up
people.
from below decks where she has to manage the thing. Are we alive?
It would appear so.
Think so.
If you would know, right? If you were dead, you would know. I don't know.
I just resurrect someone.
Who knows?
Time to do the thing.
Yes.
Please
And
give me instructions on
He
what exactly we're
explains
doing.
to you kind of like, first you have to like, there's kind of a rainbow kind of thing where that attaches to fans on either side, and you have to kind of like unscrew that from itself. And then you guys dive underwater, and it's just a matter of kind of like retracting those poles, and then there's, go ahead.
Can Azra come down with y'all to check on?
Can you hold your breath indefinitely?
Not indefinitely, but I can go back up for air
Okay.
occasionally.
You could give her a little kiss, like from Hook, the mermaids. They kiss Robin Hood.
Oh,
and
and
they
from Pirates of the
blow.
Caribbean 4, you remember that?
That works because they can
Seriously?
breathe the water. I have to keep the air in my
No,
lungs.
seriously, you're bringing up that movie.
And the one from Del Toro.
Oh, the
The fish dude, I don't know
The
his
Shape
name.
of Water.
The Shape of
Nobody's
Water.
doing that
I was about
underwater
to say
in the
something
game.
inappropriate.
So yeah, Azra
movie.
can come. It's kind of hard for her to see. She quickly, I don't know if she loses interest, but this is very not Arcana that
No.
they use.
Okay, well, I wanted to check on the condition of the fans anyway.
You go down there,
And especially
and
after we landed, there might be rocks like at the below the water of this cove, and when we landed, we could have crashed
Run
against some of
aground.
them. Yeah.
you see that there's a not
Excuse you fucking me.
insignificant amount of like cosmetic damage, but go ahead and roll investigation for me with disadvantage because it's underwater.
It is scritchy scratch.
Well, it's not good.
No, it's a boat.
It's 8.
I think with an 8,
Look at the boat.
You can see obvious.
you can tell
Not
that
gash.
they're intact. Like, you don't know if it's all cosmetic damage.
I
but
count 1, 2, 3, 4. We're good.
Yeah.
While they're doing that, I look inside the hole and see if we're taking on water
fans.
anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Because that's how you determine if something's wrong.
You don't appear to be. It takes you
Good.
guys a few minutes, but basically you like unlatch this thing that slides down and you push them in these little like containers for them and put the poles neatly down there and close it back. And obviously like those little things are not, they're not watertight, nor are they supposed to be. It's okay if it has a little excess water. You push them in there and close the thing. And you come back up, and you notice you get back up faster than Nimbo. And after a second, you're like, I think he might just need to hang out on himself for just a second. And very figuratively catch his breath.
I am definitely gonna go back down, find where he's hanging out, give him like a
Probably the captain's
and
quarters.
if he responds with this, I'll go back up.
He nods at you, and then he puts his finger to his lips, which you take to mean I'm good. And then it kind of gives you like a... But you feel reassured that he's okay. He's just taking a second. Does Ronnie go back up?
Yeah. If he wants to just get some alone time. I'm not going to like leave the water yet.
That's very sweet. It's only like, probably like 3 minutes. He just needed a second. And he comes back
He
in.
was very stressed.
Or when he sees you like hanging out in the water, I'm gonna see if he. Yeah, he just says, "Thank you. I'm. It's all good.
You're good. We're
It's all
good.
good.
Everything's good
Yes.
so far.
Appreciate the assistance.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep.
So you guys go back up. Cook actually comes out on deck and then grabs a couple of the crewmates, and they actually kind of set out a little spread, like a picnic style on the deck, sensing that everybody could use some reassurance, and is actually busts out some of his nicer, like, dried meats and dried fruits and stuff, and even a little bit of cheese for you guys. And there's kind of like a hushed dinner that you have. And,
We got the charcuterie and cheese spread.
I love charcuterie. I could just snack.
I almost
want to
try
all the
fishing.
time.
On the boat, like shark utery.
No. No.
On the open sea.
You guys take that high five back. That
No.
joke
No,
does
no.
not deserve
Oh,
We
the
doubled
rolls are
down high five and
disadvantage.
shake.
Yeah.
Sure. You both take 25 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
Just kidding. So,
So I'm curious what our plan is now that we're like landed. So sort of.
Ronnie is gonna
Absolutely
continue
not.
to like,
Nope.
like once he gets back up there, like thaumaturgy, blow any debris, any lingering smoke that can be gotten rid of away, just so that the air is safe to breathe again.
Nimbo actually kind of comes and like helps you with that, and you have like this ritual kind of like moments of like recirculating the air and kind of almost pulling from the cave does go deeper but narrows right away. It doesn't appear to be, well, roll perception checks, I guess.
Everybody?
Yeah.
Nope.
Brana, you can
Ooh.
add
Nat 20 for a
advantage
26.
because you come from a place with lots of caves and stuff.
24.
Oh, thank you.
A 26. Nat 20.
13.
Nat
Nice.
20, wow. Octavia, you're like, I think we're in a cave. No, it's not that bad, but you're like, you're looking around, but you don't know what you're looking for.
26.
Yeah.
Azra?
Unnoteworthy.
So you guys are like, caves. And you guys, it makes sense, all of you have come from somewhere near water, relatively. And,
That's funny.
actually, kind of all of you have spent time near water.
I mean, I grew up
Yeah.
in,
But, like,
And my monastery
Urban.
was on the
Yeah.
coast.
waterfront.
So Ronnie came back up on deck, right?
Yeah, Ronnie's
Yeah.
there, but the three of you all know this is a very naturally hollowed out cave over time. There doesn't seem to be any weird things about it, and from the, like, undisturbed, like,
Sorry.
Features.
yeah, and there's like, what is it, like algae and stuff on the walls, appears to be undisturbed. This is not a hangout for big water monsters that you can tell.
Or small but numerous pirates.
Yeah.
I'll go
Other than
find
yourselves.
I'll go find Ronnie because I know that you're with Captain Nimbo. Just like, okay, so we've landed. What's our plan? Are we going to continue on, or because we do have a
Once-
destination?
Yes, once the eruption and the ash and stuff clears from the air, we can revisit that. But right now, it's just taking shelter.
We have no idea when that's going to stop.
Nimbo is kind of like nearby because you're at dinner. Kind of shoots you a look. Roll an insight check.
Oh, me? Insight?
Yeah.
Oh.
I imagine we wouldn't wait until everything
that
clears, just
is
until it's inactive.
dang. 22.
His look says to you, "Shut up about this. We'll talk about it." Like, and you get the impression that he wants to come out solid with a plan.
Are we dining with the crew? Excuse me.
You're on deck. You had a
Oh.
Everyone's here.
I
This is a picnic.
am an officer, and I don't believe I should be dining with the crew.
I think someone's letting something go to their head.
Is that an expectation? Officers not dining with the
That's
crew?
why they have an officer's mess. Yeah.
Oh,
This ship
where's our
officers
officers?
do-
This ship
does
notably
not
does not.
have an officer's mess.
Yeah, well, it should.
If he says that, does
I'm
anyone
kidding.
not say that out loud? Any of that out loud?
I'm joking. No, I'm joking.
Okay.
You have to wear the pretty dress if you want to dine with the captain away from the crew.
That's
That's
part-
another Pirates of the Caribbean reference.
the first one.
I caught that one. That is a Pirates of the Caribbean movie that I have seen.
I didn't see this in our flag means death. What are you talking about?
He would rock
Such a
pretty
good show.
dress.
He
Like,
would.
and he'd be
He
fine.
totally
And
would.
it doesn't matter who you're talking about. Every he on that show would rock a pretty dress. Yeah, that's basically what he dresses in most of the time anyway.
Night shirt. So,
I shut up.
Nimbo,
These like elaborate
towards
silk
the
robes.
end of dinner, kind of like, he like straightens up and he looks around and he goes, I will be conferring with the other officers in my cabin, and then we will inform you what the next steps are. Everybody?
Yes.
Eddie.
Aye, aye, Captain.
I
Hi.
And what do you think you guys
That
are
went so well.
like paying attention to during this dinner?
What's the crew's feeling on this?
Yeah, I'm
What's
going
the chatter
to,
with the crew members?
I'm going to be like keeping an eye out for how they are behaving, because I'm pretty well aware of where Nimbo's at.
Yes.
reading lips.
The crew is abnormally silent. And like you know that the cave is echoey and that can affect how much people talk, but this seems pretty quiet. They don't respond a lot to Nimbo other than, like, they give him eye contact and pay attention to what he says, but then they just kind of nod and their heads go back down to their food and they don't seem to respond much. But after dinner, Nimbo kind of gestures for all of you. They go to the captain's quarters. You guys all accompany him, I assume. And he shuts the door and he goes, okay, so probably not like that. Okay, so do you know anything about like debris or how long? You don't, right? Because this is weird, right?
I've never seen a volcano erupting like that, but you and I are both pretty familiar with the air and stuff that's not naturally capable of flying doesn't tend to stay in it long. I think it's going to depend on how long it's erupting.
What will we be looking for when we know that it's done? Just wait until the rumbling dies down?
Probably.
Will it even be rumbling when it is already over, perhaps? Like, as it's subsiding, we might still hear it, so we might be able to leave earlier than that?
Well, okay, so the way that it's worked whenever there's like an earthquake is that the rumble happens before everyone feels it, because it depends on where you are when you think it happened, because like the people on the far side of the island would feel it like it happened like 5 minutes later than it did for my dad and I. So once the rumble has died down, like it should be basically over.
Mm-hmm.
And from there we can survey the sky. And if things are still looking dusty, we can wait a little longer and it should continue to fall like everything else that doesn't hang in the sky on purpose.
That could take days, though, couldn't it?
Not usually.
No?
Most things fall pretty fast. I don't know if you've noticed that before.
Well, I'm talking about, like, the ash in the air. That can remain for a while, couldn't it?
Maybe, but I don't think it would be as significant a block to our visibility in flight.
Mm.
My nature is shit. I got
Like it would be, it might still be a problem, but I don't think it would be as persistent an issue, and if it was that persistent an issue, it would be something that we would be able to navigate around because we know what the air is doing.
Nimbo, because
We can watch it.
I'm less worried. We didn't land because it was hard to see necessarily. We landed more because the hard to see indicated that there could be fire. Well, like melty fire. Airships don't like fire.
Most ships don't like fire, as far as I'm aware.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I haven't read the manual. And then he glances at Azra's face and he goes, "There's not a manual." That's not a thing.
I would have hoped that you would have told me about that sooner.
If there were.
If there were. Yeah.
You would think. I think I probably would. Who knows? There's not one.
I believe.
Darn, could have used a manual.
Good.
Azra looks around as if she's finished her statement.
So we're here for the duration.
Nimbo goes, "Right, so, 2 concerns. I don't think lava hippogriffs are a thing. Do we think those were connected? And 2, they're not great with not doing anything. The crew, my crew. What do we do?"
I don't know if those are connected, but it feels like too much of a coincidence for them to be completely disconnected.
They exuded like fire, and then there was a volcano. I don't know if they lived there, but
These were rotting hippogriffs too, right? Like they were undead.
Were they?
That's
Well,
why the turn worked, because it turned the
I
hippogriffs.
cast Turn Undead on an off chance they were. And it did work on one of them. Probably shouldn't have. But
What you know, which
Work.
has been revised, there was a little thing that happened, but what you know is the hippogriffs did have something undead in their nature, but the skeletons, even though they should have they looked like undead, were not.
well, that accounts for the hippogriffs, and the undead part. Surprisingly, the skeletons weren't.
surprising.
So,
What do you mean? The skeletons weren't undead?
So then something demonic.
I would assume, yeah.
What makes you think that they weren't undead?
I can't really explain it. If
They
I'm
were
honest.
unaffected by the spell.
They were unaffected by the spell.
That's
That's true.
not always an indication, though.
But it worked on one.
It did. One of them.
It's weird to say, but it's like a gut feeling. It's not a good explanation, but it's all a gut.
Is that like a dead god thing or death god thing?
Rude.
What?
Maybe.
What?
Did we not tell you?
Nimbo goes, "What?"
What?
Now, everyone. It's nothing to worry about.
What?
No, it's.
I forget if Azra knew about this or not.
So
I don't think so.
I figured out who's talking
What?
to me. And it's Kellenvor, the god of the dead.
Yes.
Is talking to you in your head?
Yeah.
That seems cool.
His messenger.
We're good.
Yes.
We knew that was.
Good God. Just fine.
He's neutral.
It's more of.
The death is a very neutral thing.
And just ushering it on and having it
From
happen.
what Brana told me, it's like in everyone dies eventually, and things that are dead should stay that way type of thing.
That's quite alright.
Is that our policy?
Do you think dead things should come back to life?
Aren't you trying to revive something that's dead? Isn't that your goal?
Yes. It may put me at odds against some deity or something, but I will deal with those consequences when they happen.
Roll me a religion check.
Okay?
Huh?
It's another thing Azra doesn't know.
Yeah.
Is it rock?
Yes.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
I didn't think we were trying to revive Rock. I thought we
He
were trying
is.
to avenge him.
Oh.
He is.
I am.
Yeah.
He vowed in episode 1.
I
Yeah.
forgot.
As soon as I get resurrect, yeah.
The God
coming
of
back to life.
the universe says he did it in episode 1.
Was that news to everyone?
What episode? What is?
News to me, for sure.
Alright.
I mean, your goals are your own.
He was a man that was.
That's appropriate.
He departed this world unjustly. I believe he should be returned to his family.
With your religion check, what you know is that there is a difference in how most undead things don't have souls
Right.
that are within them. And I'm not going to tell you what Owlbroth would do, but I assume he wouldn't bring something back to life without a soul.
You would
Correct.
also probably be able to describe the difference between true resurrection and a necromancy.
Exactly.
I mean,
But animate dead.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and that's what
I mean,
I was thinking of.
Can animate the dead if you all like to see that once, twice.
No. I'm good.
Yeah, oh, we're saying no?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I am able to. It's not a skill It's not a skill I find tasteful.
Sorry, that's
but
not
it is-
Octavia. That's
no, I
straight
know.
up not
Octavia
Octavia.
flashes back to that same lecture with whatever professor, and right under
was
aberrations it
like-
says undead.
But they
saying Bahamut gives you this power to raise dead?
267 aberrations,
Well,
less than 260.
Essentially, at
They're
this
very
point, I
short
can bring it back
lessons.
as something of a servant that would obey my commands.
Oh, like, we have unseen servant, you have, like, undead servant?
Oh no, it would be someone that was
Isn't it not
that
the
has
same?
departed, and they would become a servant to me. It's like a zombie or even a skeletal.
That seems like a necromancy thing.
I
quite
too
distasteful.
I do find it distasteful, but one day it could come
You
in
have
handy.
to promise me that if Octavia dies, Owlbroth is gonna animate her.
Of course I will.
That was not in character.
Not resurrect her.
Nope.
Specifically.
Animate.
I wonder how much crossover there is between necromancy and artifiction, the ability to create automatons.
Well, it's
I mean,
also-
you're animating inanimate objects.
Well, also when I animate it, it stays animated, but I also need to make sure that I cast a spell every 24 hours lest it turn on us.
Nimbo is sitting here like this, and he goes, I don't know what your all deal is, but everybody's. Don't bring back, no undead.
Are there any crew members that have passed recently?
There's about to be one.
I feel like we've wandered off topic.
Anyway, so we're going to be here for a while. Who's
the
up for some
crew.
fishing?
I feel like we've wandered off topic.
You think?
You can demonstrate your skill on some of the fishes that we catch. I'd love to
Let's
see it.
keep going with the captain.
I'm listening
To
to you, Ron.
animate the fish.
Animate a fish.
Okay, I'm not
I-
leaning into your Pirates of the Caribbean thing. There's not going to be a bunch of undead on the ship.
I feel like we need to, establish our game plan and then figure out a plan for your crew. You
Right.
said they don't do well with nothing to do.
Yeah, like, they live in, like, this shadow realm of not really pirates, but kind of pirates. It's not great.
Oh,
Kind
okay.
of pirates.
They only steal from bad people.
No, it's less about that and more about, like, government.
Huh.
You don't like governments?
Oh no.
You guys don't love governments either. You're just saying you never operated.
I'm so sorry. This is what you talked about. That was not a mean question. That was like oh, you don't like governments? Is that better?
It was a tell me more.
I'm confused
Type
about
of
both.
Well, she's more order, so.
Oh. I'm so sorry.
That's incredible. Nimbo's like,
It's like new information.
let me be clear.
Okay.
I don't care if you think you're being mean to me. That wasn't
Because I
that was an answer to your question. Just like you guys kind of operate in the
Yes.
shadows sometimes.
yes.
Like a lot of these countries, there's been a lot of unrest, and different people are like, oh, this is our ocean. We don't really buy any of that. Like, we just don't. That's
It's
to
not
the
really possible
extent that
own
we're
the ocean.
pirates would be mostly like we don't care that much about the
Authority?
latest.
Less-
If this
less privateer, more
substance
buccaneer.
is allowed to be here without being taxed a crazy amount, like, or whatever. We don't carry anything obviously unethical, like undead. But, you know, like, we just don't pay that much attention.
Do they need their bones?
We'll table that for now. Just so.
He just doesn't answer you. Deep
Ronnie
sigh.
will definitely answer you and be like, didn't you get in trouble for like a mind reading without permission type of thing?
Yes.
I would think that whether the dead need their bones unmolested by animate dead spells would be kind of the same thing as big no-no.
Can't animate dead without their consent, and you should understand that.
But a dead body is not a person.
It's not about the dead body.
It's not about how
like-
dead they are.
She's really stuck on this one. Anyway.
Nimbo, he says that he's like, it's more like it's not about the undead at all. It's just like when you're associating with the deities usually who leverage that, you're not usually in a place you want to hang out in.
That's not what yours is.
But Bahamut's a good dragon
Justice.
god. Yes, justice, and yet grants him the ability to animate the dead.
I'm not a Bahamut expert.
Well, he is.
I am. But anyway, regardless, I have an idea of something that we could use the crew for while we are here with this downtime.
Does it involve us killing them first? Because if so, no.
No, it would
Okay.
involve the crew actually having some sort of combat training, so they don't run and hide when something like this happens. Perhaps a couple of them equipped with pole arms or something could fend off something.
You want to arm.
Maybe
There needs to be a cache of some sort of weapons,
Do you not have
Do you
weapons
not
on?
have weapons?
and if they need
You're pirates question mark and have no weapons? Is that the question mark?
one of the easiest weapons for them will be a pole arm or spear of some sort, and we have a few of our experts here that are familiar with weapons of that sort.
we could also like have them clean and do some cosmetic
Well, there's always
repairs.
there's always okay. Look, there's always upkeep of a ship. That's just like every day. You got to do that shit. But
Roll me a persuasion check, actually, for Nimbo.
it's going to be a 16.
Let's roll a stupidity check for Nimbo. Okay, he's not stupid. This
Just
time.
saying, we have
But
3
how nice
people
of
that are
this.
familiar with staff fighting.
And I have a staff. That I don't
You
use.
had a walking stick, but you used it
True.
from time to time,
Yeah,
didn't you?
have a you do have a bow staff.
Did I use it though at any point for combat?
You did
Well, you were
in
carrying,
the first one with the spiders because
Oh,
you
yeah.
didn't want anybody to know, and so you were just trying to hit
and
stuff.
Ronnie does too.
And it did not go well.
So yeah, that's 3 of y'all that could train the crew on at least, jabby.
And I'm sure you could train in at least, basic hand-to-hand combat. It wouldn't be as advanced as the things that you do.
Of course.
Nimbo's like,
Perhaps
So
not to
they-
disarm a weapon
So that they
bending when they
are
have
more
no
useful
weapons.
if we are attacked again.
You
it's
can also
not
teach
fair,
them how to run
I
real
don't
fast.
think, to yell at them and then not give them the tools I have available. I'm going to do something. I don't love this. Yes, you guys are going to train them in combat, and you are going to use your particular skills that were not that approved of just once, just during combat, to see if they're thinking about using it on me. on us.
Are we fearful of a mutiny?
It's not
Nimbo.
implausible.
Have we heard any talk of any? Okay.
Did you
Give him
see
a
their
little, like-
faces up there?
Shoulder.
They're very.
How many crew members are there on this
Very
ship?
rattled.
There's 12.
12. Okay. We could take them. I mean,
We could.
But also-
Nimbo could.
Spread
Oh, well,
out.
they're probably level 1.
they need to be useful. I mean, they're,
Definitely not level 1.
They got, so they're leveled something
gonna
else, but
say-
not in fighting.
Well,
They could be wizards. Wizards are useless.
A level 7
They're
sailor, a level 1 fighter.
They're
type
not
of thing.
wizards. It was more about leadership.
Yeah.
Than technical ability. You could make a very strong argument that survival should have been top of mind for them, but they're not. You don't think they're that inefficient or
Ineffective.
yeah, because she had mentioned they fought things before.
Well, and we were the weird island tentacle things. We fought alongside this crew before. It's not that we have reason to think that they are incapable of fighting. They're just not as good at it as we are.
And he looks at Azra and he's like, "Will you do that?"
Let me think about that.
Okay. And then he just
Can I
sits there
insight?
silently.
Can I insight check Azra?
Sure. I don't.
18. What kind of a read am I getting? Or actually, it's a 19. What kind of a read am I getting on?
You are seeing surprise.
Ask.
It's more of like an introspective surprise. Like she didn't expect that she'd be having this feeling. Trying to see, what else would you be saying? I guess like maybe a bit of shame. And yeah.
how close are we to land in this cove, by the way? Are we kind of sitting at anchor?
What?
Are-
You didn't see like land within the cave
Okay.
area.
There's no like shelf.
Okay.
There's like maybe a tiny one, but it's not like a. You can't jump out the boat and go like
Okay.
walk around anywhere.
Ronnie will like shuffle over toward you and like kick your foot with his to get your attention in a subtle way and be like,
While the group is silently sitting around in a circle and Ronnie's silently. Are we breaking?
I think we have a plan. I think we have a plan.
Nimbo says, if you're not, none of you are like hired crew per se, so we don't have a plan until you guys tell me whether, and he looks at you for a minute, we'll do it. I can command them. They're paid, they're employed by me. You guys are something else.
I think that while we're, sitting here, they can probably just, like, swap off, take rests, and do whatever cosmetic repairs to the ships from where it's been singed, and we'll maybe, like, regroup in 20 minutes.
I want them, regardless of that, if you agree with the combat part of it, I want them to be tired out. They're kind of toddlers. In some ways, you want them to sleep hard and be worked hard. Right now they're going to be doing some cosmetic something.
Yeah, I'm thinking like whatever version of hands and knees with a scrub brush cleaning could probably stand to be done. Now's a great time, because it's probably going to be a more intensive scrub than usual, since everything's a little bit covered in ash, including the sails.
Okay. Get back to me.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll do that tonight. If the other part of the plan goes, we start training at dawn. Before dawn. Now or before at 5. What time do you get up? That time. Anyway, yes.
That time?
You get up pretty early.
I do.
Octavia would have no mercy on them.
I don't get up at 5. I would get up at like 3:30.
You only need 4 hours of sleep, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we want them to mutiny, to have Octavia train them.
Yeah.
Rise and
we're gonna
shine.
Get them up before dawn, and then they will have adequate time to sleep in shifts throughout the rest of the day.
Yeah.
We're going to start out by making them sore and tired, but not so sore that they couldn't maybe help out some.
Even if we don't do combat, I can take them through the Kestrel Dawn's sort of calisthenics routines. They're not all combat related. She pulls out a jump rope.
You just have that on the
I thought you were going yoga or something.
He looks at it and he's like, we have plenty of rope on the ship.
It's probably like a weapon. It's like
And he goes,
got a weight at the end of it.
Like in Legally
No.
Blonde, the musical.
No, I don't think so. And he looks at Alibroth, who did roll the persuasion check, and he said, I want to choose to trust them. I want a safeguard, but even without that, I'm not just trying to make them tired. I'm trying to make them better.
It's not a bad routine. I mean, they will get stronger. They will get more capable.
She is quite fit.
They stayed below deck last time.
Fair enough.
Let me ask a pretty fair question.
He goes,
I don't know why you
Sure.
introduce it like that.
What would you have wanted them to be doing that you think they could have succeeded at?
well, they've succeeded in keeping this. They do have, there are some, spearing kind of assets on the ship. We fish off the ship, and they do that with javelins and spears and stuff. There are things they could have done. We have some amateur spellcasters can, firebolt things here and there. They're not high level, they're not adventurers. And he kind of looks a little bit bashful, and he's like me, I'm not really an adventurer, but I've been in a scuffle or two.
Just while we've been on the ship, you've been in a scuffle or two.
Yeah, so it was definitely a willingness thing, and I wouldn't even have cared if they weren't terribly efficient, because they're not you guys, but they weren't. And here he looks a little bit abandoned, he's like, they didn't even try. They didn't try. And they all didn't try.
And that's very important. That was not acceptable. At the very least, they could have come and stamped out the fire.
Yeah. They could have handed you guys Gatorade or something, but something. They would have tried for my mom. And I know I haven't earned what my mom has earned. but they're still employed.
You've earned some obedience by virtue of your station.
I mean, I think so, and like, I don't have time to earn I can't do that today.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean I can just let everything slide.
Yeah.
Perhaps someone should address the crew.
Not yet, though.
No, I think he's right.
It is a captain's responsibility. And
What
not-
if someone went amongst the crew and sort of, spoke your praises about how even behind the scenes they've seen strong leadership in you?
I've worked side by side with him,
Coming from us, I don't think that would be very persuasive.
but I've
I can
worked-
be persuasive when I need to be.
I don't doubt it.
I volunteer. I've worked side by side then with them.
Nimbo goes, sort of. Maybe. Sort of. Are you guys comforting people? Can you be... I know you two can, actually. Maybe not for you.
Oh, quite.
I can try.
Don't.
Maybe start working out a lesson plan for that thing from you. Alright. I'm going to come down hard on them again to clean up, not with all the insults and stuff. To clean up. You guys, can you comfort, kind of good cop, bad cop a little? I
Yeah.
don't think I can soften on them right now.
I don't understand that metaphor, but yes, I think we can.
A cop is a kind of
Good costume, bad
fish.
costume.
What's it called?
Oh.
It's a pig.
That's good.
a cop is like a teacher's assistant thing at school. You didn't have any cops? Anyway, let's go.
Oh, I wasn't. No.
And you're like, oh my god, Ori was a cop. Anyway.
Ori was absolutely a cop, yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna make a pitch to you.
Okay.
That for whatever, like, barking instructions to, a borderline dressing down that he's about to give the crew, Nimbo is making an attempt to persuade them that he's worthy of respect.
Yeah.
And I want to give him advantage on persuasion.
Nice.
That's so cool.
Getting use.
Yes, absolutely. He's like, so he's kind of like, he's stood up and he's like, I know your thing is still pending. You might be wondering why I don't do that. Because, wizard school and all. I can't interpret anybody's thoughts very well. I'm just not good at it.
I mean, plenty of people didn't take the divination class, so it's not everyone's specialty.
It's in my repertoire, but I don't think I've ever prepared it. And I didn't really like it. I tried to, and then just like, it was my thoughts with their thoughts. I didn't like it. I have enough of the different, and he looks at Brenna and he goes, the different voices, I have enough of that. Just here, but not like from somewhere else. Just right here. So, wasn't good at it. Anyway, you didn't ask, but that's why.
Well, I understand now. Thank you.
Yes,
You should
and...
give more unsolicited advice.
What? Because no one has ever told me that before.
I've told you that before.
I forgot. And he goes, let me know. And he grabs the door handle and he goes, and that's when you take a moment and you're like, I don't know. What do you do? What does it look like?
I will again do a clap on the shoulder and then like grasp, shake, be like, you've got this. You are the captain.
He turns around and he's a little bit misty-eyed and he's like, I didn't know this was going to happen, and I don't think I've done anything to deserve the amount of support I've gotten from you guys. And that means so much to me. I've got this.
You've got it.
I'm the captain.
You're the captain.
I'm the captain. And he opens the door, and he goes out, and the staircase is like right next, not the stair.
I go
They're
down
always
to the
called
lower
ladders.
deck to where the bell is,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go ahead and rapid ring the bell and call everyone deck.
Okay.
And
so,
once they get there, I'm gonna give them attention, captain on deck.
and he comes up where he was like, he went back in the captain when you went that way and shut the door for a second so that he could make his entrance properly.
So we can put on a big floppy hat.
He turns around.
I just want to
and
be down there with them as that, and just kind of like eyeballing them too. Hey,
I'm actually gonna suggest in the brief moment that he's still in there, like, if you tie a bandana around your head and then put the hat on, it won't slip over your eyes. Probably.
It's so smart. But it takes a minute, and yeah, he has kind of like a little sash like you do a little bit, but not as fancy or sentimental. And he wraps it around a few times. He takes his mother's like more formal looking hat from a shelf, and then he looks around and goes, and he grabs a coat of hers, and actually does fit him. It's a little long, but it doesn't have that effect where it looks ridiculous.
A little more snug around the waist.
Yeah. A little bit, yeah. And he goes, okay. And at the tail end of your announcement, he comes up and he goes, listen up, you landlubbers. This ship looks disgusting. We're going to scrub every inch of it. Everyone is at hand, and no one gets to sleep until this is done. I don't want one. It needs to pass a white glove test. Everywhere. Let's go!
Good cop and bad cop.
turn around to the crew and you are the captain.
He is going to roll a persuasion check at advantage.
And I'm gonna go make sure that they actually are doing it, because that's kind of my job.
The first one was a 5, and the second one was an 18 for a total of 22. But you guys don't know.
No.
You don't know how persuaded they were, but they do all like go to attention, and when they say go, there is some hierarchy of some sort, because like somebody runs down and gets buckets and sponges, and somebody else brings like the cleaning water.
I was gonna say, I think I'll go grab a bucket to pass out to people.
I'm gonna go see. You said the deck was treated with something to make it fire resistant. I'm gonna go see if I can find that, because a couple of patches will need that.
Make an investigation check. It's not an oil, it's a wax.
Is it something that Alroth and I might have found while we were exploring?
We probably found a lot of stuff, but not what we were
What
looking
was
for.
it?
6.
Luckily, Alabroth rolled a nat 20 when you guys were investigating.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
actually.
I think I come back on deck
I
and I'm
took
like,
a-
I don't think it exists.
You're like, you come back and you're like, I was looking for the
What's this?
Whatever
it's
it
like
is.
I think it's like a big bucket of oil that makes it the fire. It's like,
Is she doing this in front of the crew? 'Cause okay.
I mean,
so I roll-
Octavia, like, she doesn't understand. She doesn't know what she's looking for, and so she's just like,
I go
this
over
like
to
an
Octavia
oil
as she
or
comes up
something?
awkwardly and just go like, do you not understand what the wax is? It's down below the deck. It says it on the barrel. Please go and hurry up and get that right now. And then I go like,
Fine.
but I kind of go like, it's okay.
I message him. I don't know what that means. I don't understand. What is that? What? You're winking. Why did you wink? I don't get it.
He said below decks. Do you not understand below?
As I'm walking, I'll send the
Roll an
message. It's like, I
insight
don't
check for
understand
me.
what this.
I
I
wanna
don't know
see.
what that means.
Ronnie's just gonna
Jesus.
I want it
hand
to be
out
really
some
low.
scrub brushes, hand out
So
some
I
towels.
rolled a 6. I
Ron's
do
gonna
have
try.
amazing insight, so it goes up to a 14.
Okay, so you think he probably wasn't making a sex joke, but you're not sure.
What?
Yeah, like, genuinely, as I just pulling out the copper wire and sending it, like, keep sending. I don't understand what you're talking about. I don't know what a wink is. You were really mean to me, and I think that it's like a thing that you would do. But I don't understand what you're talking
As
about.
she's doing that, you get a message at the same time from Nimbo. It's like, you're supposed to be
I
comforted.
don't
quit
understand
yelling
what
at
you're
the
talking
people.
about.
Why are
I
you
don't
trying to do
understand
this
why
thing?
you said that to me and then
The
winked at me. I don't get
To
it.
try you. Okay.
If
A third
If
message.
Ronnie
Hey, whenever
is
you want to show me
nearby-
that dead face.
if Ronnie is nearby to hear you, he will probably walk by and be like, "You're supposed to be a good cop."
I'm trying
You
to.
guys are like, there's you three plus Nimbo are all kind of like standing like statue still at different places.
Because
in
the
ship.
idea is, if they see one of our people is in the doghouse, it's a bonding thing.
Like, I get it.
And I explained
You
that
want
to the captain.
Octavia to bond with the crew?
I just want them to see that everyone's being treated equally. And they're like, oh, okay, so it's
I see.
not just
like
us.
no one's above the law, sort of.
Exactly.
So do you message back?
Yes, I actually do explain it's a bonding experience so that the crew sees that everyone is being treated equally in this.
You get a message back from Nimbo that goes, okay, yell at Octavia, that's fine, but not anybody else.
I neglected to understand.
I understand. Awesome. What did you say?
You get a
was
message
the-
back as you're talking to him.
At
from
that point, I
Nimbo.
give her the-
Everybody's gonna yell at you.
I don't
It's fine.
understand.
Okay, on the message, very nicely, I say, I'm sorry, my friend. It was all a ploy so that they could see that we were all being treated
No,
equally.
I didn't
And
hear what you said.
and this
Where
is-
is the wax?
I tell her exactly what the wax looks like and what container it's in.
Howler
And
comes up
where
from
it
below
is.
deck with a bucket of this wax.
I can't
Stuff,
even-
And he goes, "This is for treating. I thought it might be scorched. Do we not need this?"
I
good
absolutely
plan.
need
There
it. Thank you
cases of
very much. Alfred yelled at me.
He goes, "Okay."
Thank you,
Also,
Howler. I
Also, she would have been the one that would have the best reaction
Sir?
to that. So that's
Yeah.
why I picked her.
And then he just kind
That's
of
the
looks
word
at
I'm
you
looking
as he
for.
walks.
Okay, if everyone like on the crew is now doing their thing, I'm going to pull Azra aside.
Ah.
I'm sorry, 1 second. What was quoted?
He's gonna tie his hair back and like help the crew clean.
You look very cute with your half braided look, all just kind of like bandana back, like kind of like Rosie Riveter kind of look to the, but hotter.
And see, and then in my brain,
But hotter? Excuse me?
and then in my brain, I was like, it's like that one scene
Ethereally.
from Spirited Away when they're cleaning the bathroom.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And you notice that people like a little bit more they don't seem to avoid you as much. There's little Octavia kind of compassionate glances, but with some distance. So they're like, I don't. She seems so emotional. And then Ronnie pulls Azra.
Okay.
Yeah?
Azra,
Yeah.
how are you feeling about the idea of reading some minds for the captain?
Well, see, I think there would be an even better way to, if we just went among the crew and like talked to them. I think we could get that vibe without having to read their minds, you know?
Maybe.
We just pick up, how they're feeling about Nimbo, or try to reassure them that just for the duration of this journey, Nimbo is proving himself a little awkward in his footing, but he's definitely coming to. He's definitely taking after his mother, the natural leader. So that sort of thing, right? I think that could work.
Maybe. It could. There is certainly room for that. There's also, I think, a fair question over whether or not that would be as persuasive coming from us, since we're basically all but strangers, and we came here with Nimbo.
Sure, but I mean, we've saved their asses twice. Surely there's some sort of gratitude.
Oh, I don't doubt there's gratitude. No one generally prefers to be dead.
We could be subtle about it.
Perhaps. I think there's definitely merit to the idea, but I do think that there's also some merit to Nimbo's idea that with how rocky a start he's gotten, that it might be worth it to get...
I think Nimbo might be just doubting himself. Like, has it been that rocky? I mean, we've been attacked by things, but that hasn't been anyone's fault.
We almost ran into the cliff face.
And then we didn't.
True, but I don't think that's a very encouraging start, and it might be beneficial to get kind of an unfiltered opinion of some of the different people in the crew, but that's not something you seemed super keen on.
Yeah, no one's really ever asked me to steal someone's thoughts before.
No, but you have offered that as a service before.
Yeah, it feels different when someone, like... I just suddenly got the sense that, like, that's how everyone thinks of me, is, you know, I'm the one to steal people's thoughts.
If it makes you feel better, I perceive you as the one who drinks a potion and pukes up a eyeball.
That is very comforting. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, this thing, I've always sort of, you know, it's not fun to have it, and, you know, I think a part of me for a long time sort of felt like I deserved it, but that was always me telling myself. Whenever someone else, you know, looked at me funny or said something snide about it, it's like, I'm okay criticizing myself, but I don't like hearing it from other people either, you know?
Yeah, well, and also,
And
that doesn't give you room to grow as a person.
yeah. Yeah. So I didn't like feeling like I'm living up to the expectation, you know? So that's why I kind of want to avoid doing that. Also, if I get caught, we're fucked. At least I am, probably all of us.
Get caught doing what exactly? Reading minds?
Yeah.
Why would we be fucked if you did that? Or if you got caught?
I mean, you were just telling me how, let's say that the crew is feeling uncertain about Nimbo, if they are starting to develop mutinous thoughts. How would they feel if one of his pals that he brought on board was walking amongst them, peering into their minds, spying on his own crew? That would guarantee it. And I'm saying the chances are low. Most people don't know, especially if I do not pry too far, most people don't know that I'm doing it. But it's a chance. And I'd rather not roll that dice with the consequences so severe.
You make an excellent point, and you should let Nimbo in on your thought process.
It's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Ronnie. This was... I hope I answered some of your questions.
Yeah, it certainly explains why you're not keen on the idea, though I know you to be a good person, so I wasn't expecting you to be keen on the idea. I just wanted some insight into where your hesitations were coming from.
Really? Oh, thank you, Ronnie.
You're welcome.
And Azra's gonna go in for a hug.
Yay!
And holds it for like a little too long.
Ronnie will hold it for as long as you do.
Okay.
Ronnie's used to Octavia, like being kind of like weird.
And
Octavia hugs a little too tightly for a little too long.
It's always like this. And it's just such a weird thing to do.
Her muscles are just so tense.
Yeah.
It's really hard to hug her because her body's like all the muscles are flexing. She's just hard.
I don't know that
It's like hugging a
Azra.
statue.
I don't know that Azra has spent a lot of time hugging and being hugged. Ronnie has like the warmest, most comforting hug as the emotional like support of this group. It just, you feel so, in addition to the words that I don't think we probably expected to hear, it's just, you feel so accepted. And yeah, Ronnie's a good hugger.
I think towards the end of the hug, Az was going to say, Ronnie, I think you might be our secret weapon.
Why?
Just a feeling.
Okay, cool.
Nimbo's strolling the deck. Like, he looks a little pretentious because he's locked into the captain's stride with his hands behind his back, his chest out, his head up, just eyeing the progress of everyone. And you guys feel a moment of like pride that he knows he can't help. Like, he shouldn't really be helping in this moment.
No, he should not be.
That he has to be the authority. And he points out occasionally, but not super unkindly, when somebody's missed a spot or is doing something wrong, and appears to have like persuaded himself to an extent that this is what he's supposed to be doing. And yeah, you guys keep that up for at least a couple of hours, and eventually Nimbo wanders over to Azra and is like, he opens his mouth and then very consciously like tells himself not to scream in front of everyone. He's like, I perhaps should have requested that in private or something. I knew you got kicked out of school for everybody knows. And so I
Hey,
didn't
can we go
think-
talk about this somewhere else now?
Yes. He's like, I want to stay on deck. Let's go take over the wheel.
Yes, let's do that.
And so you go up to the quarterdeck, where the wheel is. Ish, you know, half deck, whatever it is, and take the wheel. He
5/8 deck.
8.
It's quarterdeck. It's quarterdeck.
Okay.
No, you're right.
Then
No.
why'd you make that face?
Huh?
You made a face.
Well, we are technically.
Okay, no.
Yeah,
Don't care.
Please
Go
don't
up
make me
to the
get to.
place that's normally the quarterdeck,
Thank you.
but maybe isn't right now.
Save me
That's the
from
wheel
myself,
on it.
Jason is saying.
You're anchored. It's now called the 1.5 deck.
The wheel deck.
I assume that Nimbo kind of starts this conversation as Azra and Ronnie are coming back out
Probably.
from wherever we had a private conversation.
If it took you a while before you pulled her, then yes.
And you mentioned like a 20-minute like break, and I imagine that Nimbo would probably want to check in at that 20 minutes because he's eager to hear an answer, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would say
Something like that.
if he's gonna do it in a public area, Ronnie will be like, if you make the wind big, maybe your voice won't carry so much.
Right. Okay. Quarterdeck. Yes, and you guys go over that. There's nobody at the wheel because you're anchored.
Right.
And it's tied or locked or
I think
something.
Ronnie will use levitation to help pulling the sails down to be washed.
Okay. Yeah, at Ronnie's suggestion, he casts thaumaturgy to put the wind kind of in your faces a little bit to carry your voices backwards.
Okay. I'm just imagining the visual of our hair blowing back while we're talking to each other.
When everything else is very still
Yeah.
because we're in a cave.
Yeah, we're having the anime conversation.
You'll know that,
Like
like,
the G-forces.
that commercial for the loud sound where it's just this guy's tie and it's blowing everything.
Just imagining sitting in front of a box fan when you're a kid because it's so hot.
It's not that much. But he says, I made some assumptions. I don't know. I didn't think it would be a thing. But I didn't mean to, like, you know.
No, you're good. It was it's smart to use every tool you have in your toolbox, right?
Sure.
I just didn't want to feel like a tool, I guess.
Forget it.
That was more of a Christian joke in Azra's voice.
I don't get it.
Shark
Back in the box.
Anyway.
Yeah. Actually, I was just talking with Ronnie about this. I was thinking, the odds are so small, but if the crew were to ever find out what I was doing, I mean, that would be probably the worst result of any of our plans.
Why?
If the crew found out that you sent your friend from school down amongst them to spy on their minds.
We weren't friends in school.
Okay, but we are friends now,
Right.
and I am from your school. That's where we met.
Right.
Okay. Let's focus on the important part. Is Nimbo,
Yes.
focus up.
He was kind of. He's like, yes,
I
yes.
need you to focus.
Yeah. So, how would let's say that you're right, which I think you might be overblowing this this idea that the
That when it calms down. He's intelligent. He's not wise.
yeah. So, imagine. I think you might be blowing this out of proportion with how the crew feels about you. But let's say you're right.
Did you read their mind?
No.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
saying.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of things thrown at us, and we're still good. The ship hasn't been blown to bits. No one has died.
That is good.
Yeah. So I think, there's a possibility that the crew sees you that way, as someone who has steered them through rough waters, and you're out the other side. But let's say that you're right. Let's say that you're right, and some of the crew hates you, and they're thinking about a change in leadership, right?
Okay.
I don't want to get you running away with it, but if you were one of those crew members, you had a captain that you doubted, and then you found out that captain was sending a mind mage to spy on their thoughts, do you think...
Oh.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be great.
Yeah.
Because I did this whole thing to, like, look very confident. And then if they found out, I'm pretty scared.
Yeah. And I think both of us know how people feel about having their mind read.
Yeah, they did not like that.
No, they didn't, Nimbo.
Right. I mean, I knew it wasn't allowed. But, like, apparently they're giving
Choking on
you,
boba.
like, a DL, like, ethics, like, your entire, like, first years there or something. There's some sort of ethical, like, thing that they
Wait,
don't...
what?
I don't know. They
made it-
told me I passed it, and they
Oh,
gave me
yes, the
access.
secret ethics test where you don't know that you're being tested.
Yeah, it seems kind of shady. But I guess I passed it.
Come to think of it, being observed when you don't know that you're being observed is kind of the same thing, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm not. I didn't write the rule, and I don't think I would
Shots
have. I don't know that I would
No,
have
because the people that make the rules don't have to follow them.
passed the ethics
Cannon
test
fire.
if I didn't just forget all the ways I could try to break the rules. It's not a great system. I mean, I'm supposed to go back.
Focus.
Huh. Sorry.
It does suck, but where would you or me be without it?
I might be a lot better captain. But yeah, I mean, like, they teach you this spell, but the trade-off is kind of a lot. Kind of a bureaucratic. So the crew, so you don't want to for like reasons, like
Yeah,
valid reasons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm doing okay?
I was think I don't want to. I think it's a good instinct to check in with the crew. I was thinking of simply going amongst them and sort of like talking you up. I do wonder, how would the crew respond if you you just made it an open dialogue? Would they be receptive to that?
Hey guys, are you gonna mutiny me? Just checking in.
Like, I know there's a way you'd have to go about it so it does not seem weak, but there's a way that strong leaders speak with the people who follow them. They check in.
I mean, I think my mom has earned some of that with the crew to where they know when and how they can, like, ask for stuff or suggest stuff or whatever.
I mean, there's some leadership still among, the crew that's not any of us, officers. What if you you would know the people who are most influential, the most charismatic of the rest of the crew. What if you had one-on-ones with them? And then it didn't seem weak. You were sort of gauging them, but also you were showing them that you trusted those leaders. And then if there was any sort of dissent among the lower ranks, the leaders could quell that because they know that you're earning their trust by talking to them.
You need to promote somebody from within. I need to promote at least one person that's been here.
Yeah? I mean, yeah, promoting all of your friends, you're right. We're the new people. I think we've been proving ourselves, but we are the new people.
I have no fault with any of you in the jobs that you've done, but I think
I mean, how could you?
maybe... Okay. I think maybe you're right. I think maybe you're right that I need to install I need to take a step that both shows my authority and gives somebody else some. Great, thanks. Claps his hands, goes, listen up, everybody!
Ooh!
Immediate.
Kyron, come here! And Kyron kind of like stands up, dusts his knees off from where he was waxing one of the spots and kind of approaches him. And Nimbo goes, I would like to announce in front of all of you, our second officers, I think.
Chief of the boat. Make him chief of the boat.
That Kyron has surpassed my expectations as the captain, and after conferring with the other officers, and he kind of looks at you guys like, you go with it. Kyron is being promoted immediately to chief of the boat.
Yeah!
They all kind of cheer. Kyron bursts into tears.
Oh.
It's kind of like being the top enlisted man on the ship.
But only for a second. And Nimbo, like, claps him on the back calmingly and reassuringly. And he straightens up and he goes, Aye, thank you, Captain.
Also,
Kind of looks around. You guys notice that Cook's kind of a weird moral support for this. He brought out the picnic. He's really gruff. It's like Harrison Ford in Shrinking, kind of. It's just like hard to approach in some ways.
Shrinking, it's maybe my favorite TV show that came out last year. It's amazing.
But you know, like the gruff older dude that can be weirdly reassuring, and he is cheering louder than any of them, and he looks just kind of approvingly at Nimbo. They make eye contact, and he just kind of nods at him. And, he leans over to Nimbo and he goes, is there a pay raise?
there better be.
Nimbo goes, of course! You're the highest paid of the regular crew members on the ship now.
I think at the end of the like sort of applause, because Azra did have some time on a fisher ship, I think she wants to like pipe in as it's trailing down and say like, 3 cheers for fire and demons could not bring the ship down.
Hip hip hooray! Hip hip
Hooray! Hip hip hooray!
And then, sorry, Kyron yells, "Get back to work!"
It's his job now.
Yeah.
Chief Boats.
And you all get back to work, and I think weirdly we're going to end there.
Oh.
Not really. That's a good spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have no idea how many bad things could have happened in this episode. Thank you all for joining us.
Nice out of the crap.
Yeah, we will be. We have to say it. We will not be at our next session.
We'll be out of town.
Some of us will be in California. But we will return after that. Thank you for joining us. As we always like to say around here,
Keep on nerding.